And in the UK, retail sales improved in January, increasing by 0.9% on the previous month. While the Office for National Statistics said the amount of goods sold in Great Britain rose by 0.9% after falls in the previous 2 months. For details of these and more, here is Juliana Olayinka. Hello, Juliana. Good afternoon. Well, just before we begin to drill down the numbers, you'll soon no longer find Adam Smith in your wallet or purse. The Economist has been replaced as the face of the £20 note by artist JMW Turner. Why so? Are people excited about that?
Good afternoon, Chimase. Are people excited? Probably not. Not as excited as the outgoing Bank of England Governor Carney, who unveiled this new note. Unfortunately, I don't have it to show you. I haven't been one of the lucky few to be able to find it in a cash machine. But there will be 2 billion of these new £20 notes in circulation. Just a fun fact, 2 billion £20 notes could actually wrap around the world 7 times. But look, it's quite a simple reason. The £20 note is paper. Well, the old £20 note was a paper note, and the Bank of England found that they were just far too easy to counterfeit. So this new polymer note will make it a lot more difficult. And as you said, it's got Turner, who's considered one of the greatest artists of all time. His face will appear on them, although how many of them, we don't know, because of course Britain is still turning into a cashless society. But the Bank of England said that within the next 2 weeks, 50% of the notes that will be available will be in ATMs across the UK, and before the end of the month, they'll all be in full circulation.
So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. Anyway, an update from Laura Ashley. The retailer says it has secured a loan to fund its day-to-day operations following speculation about its survival. Any details what this loan deal is, and does that solve Laura Ashley's challenges, particularly with the falling retail sales numbers?
Well, it's solved their immediate issues. And look, you know, Laura Ashley is a victim, just the latest victim of the collapse of the British High Street here in Britain. We have had those retail sales in January that do show an uptick. So for Laura Ashley and other retailers, that's obviously really good news. But they have been bailed out. It was £20 million they were asking for. They actually asked for this a couple of months ago, and they had to stick to some conditions which they didn't manage to meet, but they've managed to convince the American banker to give them this money, and they've got that. It's just unfortunate that today they released their end of year results, and they're down by about 10%. As soon as they announced that they needed this cash, their shares plummeted by about 40%, which is huge. They managed to pick up about 25% of that once Wells Fargo did say that they were going to give them this £20 million. And really now what Laura Ashley are trying to do, like so many of their competitors are doing, is really focusing on digital. Laura Ashley isn't just a clothing retailer. They do some really nice high-end furnishings, and they're just not selling. So they're going to re-strategize. There were rumors that shareholders were not impressed or didn't feel confident in them. But now, of course, they've got this paycheck. They'll be able to go back to the drawing board and really try to bring some products out that consumers will want to buy.
We're still on corporate news. Lloyds Banking Group and British defence company BAE Systems are the latest companies to report earnings. How are these reports being digested by the markets?
It's quite interesting, actually. Lloyds was in early trading one of the biggest risers on the FTSE 100, and this is even after they reported that their profits were down by 26% to £4.3 billion in 2019. I think one of the reasons why shareholders still got a little bit of faith in Lloyds Bank is because the bulk of their loss in profits was down to PPI mis-selling. That was a huge scandal a few years ago in the UK, payment protection insurance, which was sold to millions and millions of people, and banks have had to pay literally billions of pounds back. It was a 10-year grace period that the government gave consumers, and this is really the last of it. So I think shareholders feel that, profits may be down with Lloyds, but at least now there's a silver lining in the sky, because those PPI payments are a closed chapter in British banking history.
Well, more corporate news out there. Let's keep tracking them. Thank you, Juliana. Enjoy the rest of the day.